All right, so now the idea is that you've created a set of slides, right? And so these slides need to become interactive. So the first thing you need to do is go back to that extension, the Chrome extension store, right? And we're going to go ahead and type in Pear Deck. Pear Deck is going to be something that allows us to create a interactive slide set, right? A slide deck that's interactive with either moving items, or might give you multiple choice or free response, but also gives you audio that you can connect to each slide. So it's a huge opportunity not only for your teachers, but also for you to be able to present information in a very concise and very specific way. So not just for your audio, but also for the visual. And so obviously in this case, I have it already on my computer. And if you do not, you need to add it there. All right, so I've got this Chrome extension and Pear Deck. So I'm going to go ahead to my slides that I'm working on. Oh, here it is, obviously, right? The first day of school's presentation. So here's what I was creating, right? And you can also already see there's a question posed on this first slide. And then you're going to see at the very bottom, right? It's got a if you click it, it's actually an image there. So you cannot delete that. That's very important that on any of the slides that you create a interactive aspect, you need to make sure that this image stays on the slide. All right. And it also gives information about what exactly is going on, meaning what does the individual who's on the other end, what are they supposed to be doing on the slide to create the interactive response. All right, but with that said, all this is to say, where and how do you get it put on the actual slide? Well, this is where you go. Now, mine does say Pear Deck on the actual top here, along with File, Edit, View, blah, blah, blah. But I also have it up here, like the Bitmoji is up here as well. It is up here too. So some of you will have it up there, some of you won't. If it's not, then once again, you have to actually click on either the little puzzle piece or this Chrome icon and then click it from the list of the extensions that you've added to Chrome. All right, but with that said, let's go ahead and start thinking about this interactive aspect. The first thing you're going to notice is there's nothing on the screen, right? But I need to actually click it. So once I have clicked Pear Deck, right, I click the extension, now you're going to see all the options pop up. And a nice thing about it is they do have the templates as well. So in a lot of the templates, they've got, hey, you want an intro, right? And what do those intro slides, I'm sorry guys for the background noise. What does the intro slides, what do they ask? I mean, you might like the slide, right? And might not like the term, the words. Like, for example, I had this slide here. I didn't like what it said. So it's super easy to just click on the text box or insert a new text box, delete what they had, and change it. That goes along with ones like this, right? I'm able to move this. This is just an image. So I can take a prompt that they have already designed, right? A slide, and I can create a new question. I can change the image. I can shrink it. I can move it. There's a lot of choice in there, but it is nice to have a template just so you're able to just kind of click on something and start somewhere versus just a blank solid screen. Okay. We also have critical thinking. When you guys are creating these slides, every slide needs to be interactive. There needs to be some sort of engagement with the audience and also audio. So where is the audio? How do I get the audio? Let's go on back. All right, once I have a slide here, then you're going to notice on this slide, I don't have any audio, but here I do. Okay, how did I get that to happen? All I did was very simple. I just clicked add audio. I record, and it doesn't take one attempt. It usually takes 4 or 5 attempts until I get the recording I prefer. And then I go ahead and I add it to it. And then what will happen is on the other end, the audience, right? Your audience is going to be able to see headphones on their screen and click it to hear the audio. So in this audio, I basically give a quick summary of the previous slide, then go ahead and read this slide for the audience so that we are able to answer a question. And that question is, as you can see, students chose the response. So it's a choice response. All right, but with that said, that's pretty much the background. All you really have to do is start, right? And then you'll be able to finish it up. But let's go ahead and see maybe what's a sample, what's something actually going to look like if I was to add it right now, right? So I'll do a quick example on this last one. I obviously have no Pear Deck once again image on the bottom, which tells me automatically that I do not have any type of interactive aspect to this slide. Well, I don't really like that, right? I want an interactive aspect to this slide. So what can I do? Well, let's say my homework is going to be a, let's see, what can I do? Homework we're going to do as a exit ticket. Let's say it's like an exit ticket. We're going to actually be asking a question. Maybe homework I'll have as a number. So maybe what will occur is, hey, on that day, right? Update slide. On that day, you might say to the class, this is your homework, right? You'll have this slide there. You might be able to actually maybe not call it homework, right? Call it exit ticket. Let's say this is an exit ticket. It wouldn't really make sense really if it was homework. Why am I asking it right now? All right, so just obviously in this case, let's change that to exit ticket. Instead, I'm going to minimize it a little bit. And once again, this is up to you how you do this, but obviously this is the example that I'm going to choose. So exit ticket, and let's say I wanted it to be a number response, right? So I would type my question in there, right? And then once I did this, I would have students are going to enter in a number. So all that they will get on their screen is a visual where they're going to enter in a number, right? And so this is how we basically create that. These are the options, and all you do is literally put them in, right? It's pretty self-explanatory. But now here's the thing that's more of a challenge. It's like, how does it look, right? On the other end is the true question. Well, let's go ahead and find out. All right. If I wanted to start this lesson, what would I have to do? You've got two choices. You're either going to do student paced activity, meaning that the individuals who are on the other end, right, are going to pace it on their own. They might take 5 minutes by themselves. Another kid next to them takes 10 minutes. Either way, they are self-paced. They do it on their own. Once they finish, and you look at their answers after. But you have the second option, which is instructor-paced. Now, in the instructor-paced, right, they're going to give you a code. Each of the students, though, prior to putting in their code, have to actually open up a new tab and go somewhere else. And you're going to notice this screen starts to populate on yours. You need to go to this on another screen. So got it. On the last update, I believe that it actually tells students to join, enter code, and connect your lesson. All right, so you're going to go ahead and give them this code, and they're going to go ahead and put it in. And then this screen pops up, and it stays there. The code's still up on the right, which is grateful, which we're grateful for. But once again, they're no longer going to be on the meeting, right? The person who's watching this is not going to be on your meeting anymore. They're going to have to go to a whole new tab. So let's go over here, and let's put in joinpd.com. It's going to be that same website every single time you go. All right, now I know, oh, okay, cool. I've got a code. My code right here was BZFDZ. Okay, I'm gonna press enter. It's gonna say loading. And once again, in this case, you're gonna start seeing on this slide, it should be updating, meaning one person has already joined the class. So you're always gonna see this. This is an automatic prompt that does populate. You can either choose to skip it, or students can respond as to how they feel, which is, I mean, a nice thing to know when you're starting a lesson. Okay. Now, this is just showing you an example of what it looks like on this end, right? So if I was to write the question here, blase la la la, and the answer was 20, then I could simply write the answer of 20 and press enter, and it'd be submitted. Okay, and then here's the responses. 1 out of 1 person responded, and this is the answer that they placed into the solution box. So really, it's very interactive. If you were to go to the other slides, right? So here's a sample of what the other slide would look like. All right, all they do is enter in a text. Here's an example of what this is, another text response. Here is the good one. This is that dot where you can move this, right? Wherever along this grid you feel most honest or true to your feelings, right? What's authentic to your feelings. And then that is the moving item. It's a good one for emotions, right? How does someone feel about something? And then we've got the multiple choice. Once again, these will populate on their screen because this right here is your screen. That right there is their screen. And you're going to notice there's the audio. Well, here's the audio. I can click on this, press play, and start listening to
What
myself.
speed is your brain moving at? We have.
Okay, so once again, a great opportunity for you when you do a presentation to really present a really nice statement along with your visual, along with your interactive aspect. But we need all of those components to create the type of dynamic experience that we are trying to present here. Same thing here. We've got another one that is multiple choice. We've got another one that tells me, hey, put this dot where you feel. This is a nice one. You can give them more than one question and give them more than one of these items that they can then relocate around the space that you're assigning them. And then the nicest part about it, sorry, it's late now. Nicest part about this also is that you can show responses to the class. All right, so you can show these responses to the class. Okay, and then once again, we can lock the screen and then let's say show responses. And that's actually a kink. I'm still working on this. How did the responses actually show up on the screen that you're looking at? I'm still working on that piece, but hopefully we have that cleared up or you can solve that problem along the way. All right, but this is the guide that I have outlined as our tool that we will be using when we are going to present, when we're going to be presenting, So be clear. Did I spell that? That's spelled wrong. I need to go in there. All right, so you want to make sure that you are aware of the opportunity that Pear Deck does provide. This is a very short video. It might not offer as much as you might have intended to have it offer, but it's what I've learned so far, so I hope it helps. All right, thanks for watching this, and we'll see or talk to you soon. Deuces. Gonna stop my presentation.